showing up too.
Starting. Hey, hello, good afternoon. This is Greg Dixon with Betty Withrow and Roy Dickin, and we run under the banner of Total Traffic and Conversion. And today we're going to talk about the conversion side of all of this. And each of us, we have different customer bases and different ways that we convert. And I think every client has a different interpretation of what conversion means to them. So, who would like to go first?
Uh,
Betty?
okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Uh, so, what does it mean to convert? It will, in sales lingo, it means when you get somebody to do what you're asking them to do. And converting may be uh, taking you up on your offer for a free consultation. It may be enrolling in your program. It may be hiring you to do their work for them. But the point of all of the sales information that we've been offering and all of the different programs that we put together as marketers is to lead to that moment of the sales conversation. And the point of the sales conversation is to create conversion in which the prospect sees the value of what you're offering so well that they're ready to pay you for it. And you're ready to step up and say, yes, I will do what I say I will do. And thank you very much for believing me enough to invest in me financially, as in the money is now exchanging, and that's the whole idea of where we've been going with this whole thing. Now, in order to have that happen, of course, you have to have a lead in. You have to have people know, like, and trust you. They have to understand the value of what you're offering, and be ready to commit. In many cases, you may have to have a conversation or even a series of conversations before the person is, or the entity of the company, the person who's making the decisions for the company is ready to make that final step of saying yes to your offer. What's important about conversion? Everything. That's what makes your business go. Without it, you don't really have any financial impetus to drive the wheel of fortune that is your business. And my collaborators here are very good at putting together mechanisms to increase awareness of what you're offering and help you to bring in people for that wonderful conversation.
Thank you, Betty. I also want to mention that one of the things you do is ghostwriting.
It
So,
is.
so the success for a ghostwriting client, I think that varies from client to client, but you have someone who one of the goals is to get something on the screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so what does that mean? That means that I've been ghostwriting, coaching, and editing with her to have her offering be as persuasive as possible so that when it's in front of the people who have the ability to put it on the screen, that it has the impact and they say, yes, this is a winner. We're going for it. Yeah, as a ghostwriter, my whole process involves a number of things. One of them is understanding your voice. Who are you? What are you offering in your marketplace? Who do you want to reach? What do you want them to know? What do you want them to feel? In the case of the project that Greg's talking about, a lot of it is about what do you want them to feel? And then after the feeling, what do you want them to understand and to know about their world and what they can do with the information in their world. So each project has a different aim. Say for example, I'm writing about cybersecurity, a whole different type of book. It is not it's not personal, but it's very much needs to be uh, informative enough that a CEO of a major corporation is ready to say, oh, yeah, I do need to talk to this guy, which is my client. And so we're working together to create a valuable stream of information that is compact enough and relatable enough that a CEO who has no time to do anything is ready to actually read this book. So, each project has a different set of objectives, and each one of those, again, leads to conversion.
Yeah. Thanks, Betty. And Roy's his realm is traffic, total niche domination. We're using all the Google tools and other tricks in order to get people in. So you have a different. I think we all have different clients, particularly I think you cater to larger companies who already have a going concern product and service, and they just need more people to see it. So you want to just talk a little bit more about that, Roy?
Yeah, well, I want to talk about that with relation to conversion, because I was thinking about this earlier today, but this really brings it all together. I think what I have been doing and what I'm going to continue to do is help my clients be found on the internet, but there's a conversion aspect of that really goes hand in hand. So I think that being found is one thing, but then to convert them, you want them to go to your website or your Google Business Profile. And once they get there, either one of them, let's take the Google Business Profile, for example, there's a conversion optimization you want to have occur there to drive them to the website, for example. And then once they get to the website, there's a different kind of conversion that you want them to do there. And that will be having them take some kind of desired action. Now, it could be just to go to another page, which makes Google happy, and they go, wow, this person came to your website and now they want to check out another page. That's good. So that's one kind of conversion. But you might want them to quickly make a purchase if that is the main reason for your website. So that's a kind of conversion. Or you may want them to opt in and you're going to give them something for free, but you want to capture their email address. Or for a lot of my clients, they want a phone call. They want to have somebody asking for an immediate appointment. So conversion is different for every client, but I think now, as I was thinking about it today, and this is crystallizing my thought pattern here, everything that they come to, there should be a conversion goal to take them on to the next step. So we want to conversion optimize everything that a visitor does. That's my latest revelation.
Yeah, and I think really it varies a lot from person to person, and the goal could be, as you said, the goal could be for simply somebody to join their mailing list, right? So you just want to get people to join the mailing list or subscribe to your YouTube channel or become part of your LinkedIn network. So that's the first step. So you're building it up, and then the others, could be a sale. And I think I'm gonna take the screen over here, and I've got a little image. And I think what we're talking about is this kind of wheel where the attraction is the traffic kind of thing. And then how you deliver. The delivery is kind of the retention thing. The offer is what we're converting to. But all these things kind of go together. And that's why there's this little arrow that goes around in circles, so because it's a continuous process. And some of those things, like the sales things, could be very instant. Like you might just want an instant sale, or you might want to have a long-term involvement. Jeff Walker one time did a little broadcast, and he said that he had somebody on his mailing list for 10 years. And he said never bought a single thing, and then one day he showed up for $10,000 in-person workshop. So he says never give up on somebody. So we the three of us worked on a project recently where we tried to get people in to buy either a membership or some courses for a client. But I have a wide range of clients. I'm working on something today. We're probably going to start a launch today. I'll just show you now for something completely different here. So this is, I have some friends in Vancouver who are putting on a theater production, right? And So, so the whole purpose of this is to get people to click on the buy show tickets and buy tickets. And yeah. So yeah, so it's everything. I think every one of our clients has a unique thing that they want to achieve, and that's part of what we do is we combine our efforts because we have bits and pieces of the puzzle to serve most people. And we start with a conversation about what it is you want to achieve. What does conversion mean to our client? What does success mean? For some it's not even sales. It's maybe just building their tribe or whatever. But for most of the people who are going to pay us to help them, sales are an important component because they need to be able to afford to pay us.
Right.
So anyway, why don't we open it up? Are there any questions from the audience? And do you guys have any comments and anything that you want to talk about, Roy and Betty?
Well, I think that you just kind of summed it up really well, that it all comes back to that same central question that's always at the heart of everything that I do. Of what do you want this to do? What is your conversion? Is your conversion to get people into your membership? Is it to have them sign up to your mailing list? Is it to have them book a free consultation? Do you want them to simply pick up the phone and just call you wherever you are? At each conversion process is unique, and it all comes down to understanding exactly what the client wants. When I'm writing for someone, that's the first and last. Everything revolves around that one thing. What do you want this to do?
Yes, when I build a website, I think too many people whose websites I've had to redesign never really had anything in mind when they built their first website. They just thought they needed one. But if they actually had an intention, they were actually trying to get a desired action, it would produce a lot better website. And I hadn't really thought about it in those terms, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do when I convert one. I'm taking it from there's really no thought behind this to what kind of action do we really want to have occur on a regular basis. So just website building should, in my opinion, involve the thought of what kind of conversion do you want to create?
Yeah, the end in mind.
Yes.
So we have a question from Bonnie here. She says,
Excellent.
"No budget is a new business. How much should I budget for marketing?" Anybody want to jump in? I've got a comment about this. I think all three of us, to some degree, we offer advice for people to follow and things that people can do on their own to have success. But if they want some help, we're available to help, and we try to have a range of packages at a budget. So do you have any ideas about what's a good budget for somebody to start with their marketing efforts?
Could you put that question up on the screen again,
Yeah.
Greg? You took it away too quickly. I see. Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, I think if you have a budget, that's a good thing. So if you're on a budget, that means you have a budget. So that's really good already. So I think it's kind of important to figure out how quickly do you need something to happen. I've had some clients where they needed to bring money in, just as fast as they could. So they had to kind of put together the biggest budget they could put together so that they could get this whole thing started quickly. It depends. What do you really want to do with your business? How quickly do you want to do something with your business? And for some people, they don't care if it takes 3 years or 4 years. They know they want to do it. And so they don't need that much of a budget initially. And in fact, they don't even know what to do a lot of times. So they don't want to spend a lot of money not knowing what they really need. It's important, I believe, to think about what you want to do with this new business and maybe even step back and figure out, have I really thought this through? Do I really know what kind of people I intend to go after? Do I really know what kind of solution that I can offer? Do I even know what niche I want to target? And do all those things. Those things probably won't cost you any money, but they're so important to do right at the beginning.
Yeah, it really comes down to what it is you're offering. Really have clarity on that. That's what Betty's really good at, is taking through a process so people can get clarity in what it is they're doing and what they're presenting, and then from there, I think in that little wheel I showed just earlier, was one of the left hand thing was the offer, right? So you got I'll obliterate our faces here. so that's the profit, the product, service, and knowledge. And once you know that, so really, they're if you have something that you offer that people are going to buy, you can do it quite quickly. There's one of the things, if the rule in advertising, if you can spend $1 to make $2, and then then you spend 10 to make 20, and then you keep on going until it stops working. So and generally that involves paid advertising. It's hard to do that organically. What we tend to do, the three of us tend to do, and one of the things that we're offering, is to do more organic stuff, just improve everybody's overall online presence. So whatever the people are looking for, you become the one that pops up in searches, and you're the one that people are talking about. So that's what we try to do. But it is possible to ramp stuff up pretty fast. And I think, Roy, you've got a couple of stories with what you've been doing where people have been surprised at how much business they got.
Yeah, this organic thing is really good. And whatever you put in initially to have a good organic reach is probably the best return on investment you're going to get. Ads are good, and they're fast. So if you need money quickly and you've got a little bit to spend, like Greg said, you got $1 and you can make 2, and then you've got 2 now. So then you can make 4. And once you've got 4, you can make 8. That's good. But nothing really is as good as a good organic presence, I've found out over the years. And you can actually start fairly quickly as long as you have a really good solution. You really have to have something that somebody wants to buy. Now, I've been fortunate enough to be able to attract prospects to people who had something that was really desirable. So all that was necessary was that the market knew that it was available. Because when you've got, especially if you've got something that there's not much competition for, wow, it can really take off quickly. But at the beginning, for me, it had to take off quickly because there had been this financial blow up of the banks and all that kind of thing. A lot of people were out of work, and they were starting new companies, and they needed to have profits come in quite quickly because they had mortgages to pay or rent to pay, and they needed a going business. They had previously been working for somebody who was no longer in business anymore, or at least temporarily not. And but organic can even work well enough for that. They didn't have the budget for paid ads. But I think paid ads are good. But now, and I should mention this, that I've just found out that with Google anyway, that's the one I study the most. In order to do paid ads on Google, if you really want the best return on your money, you need to have a good website and a good Google business profile anyway. You need to be set up organically in order for Google to reward you to the max for paid ads. So there's nothing more important than your organic presence. So
yeah, I think and we position it that if you have everything else in place, you're going to get more result out of your paid ads, because
Yes.
not everybody is going to click the exact thing your ad sends them to, but they are going to take a look at your LinkedIn profile and your website and all that other things, and your presence on YouTube, and see who you are. So that's why we need to have all areas. So we have another question for Bonnie, and this one's for Betty. Okay. Is writing a book still a good way to market oneself?
It sure is. It sure is. In today's marketplace, especially if you're a speaker or somebody who wants to really position themselves as an authority, having a book is key. I mean, it's, first of all, so many people all want to write books. Only 3% of the world actually becomes a published author. Just the fact that you saw it through enough to make it actually happen positions you as a piece of credibility that somebody who actually made this happen. And it intimates that you have some integrity, and people are ready to listen to what you've got to say. Now, some people that I work with are making their books specifically so they can give them away, like they're going to a trade show or a conference, or they are a speaker and they want people to pick up the phone and call them. That's their conversion point. But so one gentleman in particular I'm thinking of had a stack of free books, and he would write something particularly to each person as he was giving them the book and say, here you go. It tells you everything that you need to know before we talk. And that's, you can't beat that as a way of making yourself known as an authority. Now, even if your game is not necessarily to be giving away stacks of books, but you want to have your book be something that attracts people into your workshops, it positions you well in your speakers market. Any of those things, a book is key. It's not the only thing, but it's a very, very important piece of your overall marketing if we really want to blow this thing up.
Yeah, I think Bonnie has a story. Somebody was asking for a job doing some marketing, and somebody said, well, why should I hire you? Well, I wrote the book on marketing.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's all part of your online presence and your overall impact and influence. Mm-hmm. And I think many do sell quite a few books, even if their intention really was to use it as a lead magnet. Mm-hmm. Why not have it available for sale? And it could catch on. Oprah might like it.
Sure. Yeah. You never know. And then you can put it on different mediums too. You can have it on Kindle. You can have it on Audible, because some people don't read; they only listen to things while they're in traffic. There's a lot of different ways to position that same piece of content that showed up as your book.
Yeah. Yeah, some people like reading, some people like watching, some people like listening. So we try to cater to everybody.
Amazon is an interesting place to have your books, whether they're Kindle or whether they're in paperback or hardback, whatever, because so many people see them there. I mean, it's just it's a lot of good free advertising. Well, I don't know if you call it free, but inexpensive advertising about your subject by having it on Amazon. So,
right.
Yeah. And I'll bet you Betty knows something about that.
Possibly. There's one way to use Amazon to your advantage. There's a number of ways, and I wouldn't claim I know them all, but I know some people who know a lot more about Amazon than I do, and I'm happy to refer you to them as well.
Yeah. I think maybe the topic for next week's show could be on publishing and various things. Like, in a way, what I do online courses, and I do a thing called Life Vault, which is a collection of everything anybody's ever published, and it's a form of publishing. And many of the things in the State of the Rocket Norton Vault is published on Amazon. I helped them get a few things on Amazon. So, and then we recently had a discussion with somebody who has a sort of a blockchain-based platform where people pay for the pages they read. They don't pay for the whole thing, right? So if they only get through the first 3 pages, they pay 3 cents. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So maybe that's a good theme for us to talk about, is those different publishing means.
That's really good because there are a lot of ways to get your content out there.
Yeah.
I think that's a real good idea. Yeah.
So let's see if we got any more questions here. Oh, we got a thank you. There we
Okay.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Bonnie says thank you. So I just, I have to say, one of the first things Bonnie ever says to somebody when she talks to him says, "Have you written your book yet?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she said, "Oh, then you should go talk to Betty."
Oh, yeah. Well, you should talk to Betty because there's more than one way to do
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
would say so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's. Oh, we got another one. Oh, okay. There we go. Another kudos from our audience member, Bonnie, and our favorite audience member. So,
Yay.
I guess in a full disclosure, Bonnie and I are married, but there we go.
But she still talks to you. That's a good thing.
Well done. Yeah.
Yeah. There's that. Yeah. So anyway, so this has been good. I think there's a lot of information that we've put out that's helpful for across the board. It's a little longer and more rambly than sometimes we do. But
Yeah.
any last comments? Invitations? I've got an invitation.
Okay.
Yeah, we need your invitation, Greg.
Yeah, like right here. There we go. Just come visit us at totaltrafficandconversion.com because we've all been posting articles that are helpful for you to do it yourself, and then we also have some special offers to help you with what you want to achieve, what kind of traffic and conversion you want for your business.
Right.
There we go. That's our prepaid commercial announcement.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, you just do it. We'll steal Nike's thing. Just do it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You don't get anywhere if you don't do it. So
That's the truth.
No, that's true. I do have a question, Betty. You said about this background here. Is this the one you were talking about?
The one you put on the YouTube invitation page?
Well, it was based on this one here. I think I maybe not. I didn't save the image, so it probably didn't show up on the YouTube page. But this is the one. Yeah, because I think this is it. It could be part of Western North America, and it could be.
No,
like
the one that's behind you is not the one I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay. That was just the default one from YouTube that put it there.
Oh, okay. Because that image was taken from a drone above the ridge where my property is. I know the shapes of those hills anywhere.
Yeah, because I think this mountain here, I'm thinking that's probably Switzerland, because in Canada we don't build those stone paths like that.
Yeah.
Though we have mountains like this in like Washington State and
right
and British Columbia, but we if we make a path, it's probably going to be wood or mud.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. On that note, let's tune in next week. We'll have at least one broadcast next week for everybody. We'll let you know.
Absolutely.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.